Right, but you did check it was clean before you brought it up, didn't you? Well, hello there. Welcome to another Grain and Grape video. My name is Joel, and today I'm lucky to be here with Matt. G'day, Matt.
Thanks, Joel.
I say lucky because Matt's the manager here at Grain and Grape. He's a very busy man. Don't know why I said that sarcastically. He's a very busy man. If you've ever had a special product inquiry or needed some gear serviced, chances are this guy has been the one to sort you out. So we do appreciate his time. Now, today, Matt's going to be showing us the easiest way to keg your homebrew, focusing on the transfer side, so getting the beer from your fermenter into the keg. I know, sounds simple. Why would you bother making a video about that? But there are a few things that can trip you up along the way. So Matt's sure hand is going to be there to guide us through it. And he does speak. He does actually speak, I promise you. So speaking of speaking, I'm going to stop and jump behind the camera. All right, we're back. Now, some of you may have noticed that yes, we're filming in a different location today. We normally like to shoot in the brewery area downstairs, but that's being used at the moment to make fresh work kits. So here we are in the delightful office space next door, but I don't think we're making it work. All right, let's get on to the topic of the day, which is to demonstrate the easiest way to keg your homebrew. Matt, I see you've got a few things laid out on the table there. You want to run through what you got?
Yeah, sure. So what we have here is some silicone hose. We have our trusty bottle of sanitizer.
Very important.
Very important, always have that on hand.
Yeah.
We have our 19 litre Cornelius keg, some CO2.
Cool.
With the regulator and our beer.
Right, that's all pretty easy. For a full list of all the gear you'll need to get into kegging, we are working on a kegging gear video, so subscribing is the best way to be notified of all that, or just check out the description. I'll put updates down there. But for the purposes of this demonstration, all the parts are pretty straightforward.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, so first things first, we want to make sure the keg is clean and sanitised, right?
Correct, we do. We want to have our keg cleaned, of course, sanitised, all ready to go to get our beer into the keg with a method of the silicone hose. But before we do all that, we'll get some CO2 into the keg.
Yep.
Purge out as much oxygen as possible.
Yep.
It's not going to be 100% oxygen free, but it'll be an acceptable amount.
Right, so again, it's just one of those things, you just do your best.
Do your best, exactly.
Do your best with what you got at hand. And we do that because we know that oxygen is bad for beer, so we want to get as much of it out of the keg as possible before filling it.
Yeah, exactly. Purge the keg, yeah. So basically we've got this on. Only needs to be set to about 10 psi. Go a bit higher if you like.
Okay.
Just to push CO2 in there.
Yep.
So we're connecting our disconnect up to the gas post on the keg.
Yep.
And we can hear that gas seeping in there. So we just give that about a few seconds. And now we want to remove as much oxygen as possible through the pressure relief valve.
Yep, cool.
On the keg.
Here we go. So you do it as it's going, do you? As it's kind of going in, you'll just purge it?
Exactly.
Just bit by bit?
I'll let a fair amount in there to start with and then purge it out.
And is there a number of cycles you kind of do this for, or is it you just do it once? Is that enough? Or?
Yeah, I find just doing it once is enough.
Okay.
Pulling the ring pull maybe about half a dozen times, not just once.
Yeah.
As the CO2 fills up the vessel, the keg, more and more oxygen will come out.
Yep.
The more times you release this,
yep.
I believe. That,
yep. Of course, so CO2 being heavier than air, oxygen, it displaces the oxygen to the top of the keg, and then you're basically
venting it out.
Venting it out. All right, so we've purged the keg with CO2. Before hooking the hose up, there's a little step that you wanted to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. One thing, post-fermentation, there's going to be a lot of trub behind the tap, below the tap. We want to try and avoid that coming into our keg so we have clearer beer. Also, if you're dry hopping, there'll be a lot of hop matter there as well.
Yeah, sure.
And potentially, it's not likely to block this up this way, but again, we want to reduce that going into the keg. So yeah, what I like to do is, before hooking up the hose, just run out about half a cup or a cup of beer, just to flush out behind the tap, so it has a clear run through when we fill up the keg.
Cool. So just a little squirt there, just to clear it out.
Yeah.
Now it's time to just attach the hose to the fermenter and transfer it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Remove the disconnects. And then we're going to release the pressure in the keg, what we've just put in there, so we can remove the lid.
Okay.
And now we're right to open the lid.
All right. So this part gets a bit interesting. You can actually see the CO2, a blanket of CO2 in the bottom of the keg when you open it up.
Correct.
See it? Oh man, that's so much for having a clean and sanitised keg. A bit of beer left in there from the last batch. Just pretend it's clean, everyone.
So I'd like to, we'll give the tap a bit of sanitisation. That also assists with getting the hose on there. So we have our sanitised hose.
Yep. So it's important to sanitise every bit that's coming in contact with the beer.
Exactly, yeah. So it's running sanitiser through the hose, spraying it, and just dropping it into the keg. And the reason we're going to the bottom of the keg is to reduce any splashing, to prevent any oxidisation. Then we hook our hose up. So ideally with the spiral fermenters, using 9mm silicone is more useful. So we slowly open up the tap just to get the flow going. As you can see. And once that fills up below the outlet of the hose inside the keg, we like to just open it up and let it go. It's now filling up.
Got it. So nice and gently to begin with, and then don't be afraid to crank it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you got the keg lid off, the tube's in the keg. You got a bit of cloth there. What's going on with that?
Ideally, I'm going to try and cover up this large opening while filling up with beer. So what we can do is spray with some sanitizer and then place that over the opening just to prevent anything falling in there, dust, bacteria, anything of the like.
And yeah, don't be afraid to be liberal with the sanitizer. With all these steps, you can't really overdo it.
No.
Yeah.
When drawing the beer from the fermenter into the keg, it's likely to draw back the sanitizer or ethanol or into the fermenter into your beer.
Yes.
These lids, the two-piece lids necessarily won't do that.
Right.
There is also another alternative is flipping it upside down.
Oh, okay.
If it is drawing back in there, as it's not, but
yeah,
just another option.
Sure.
If you're concerned about that.
Cool.
With the S-bend airlocks, it will draw back into the fermenter.
Yep. It's not the end of the world though if that happens, is it? I mean,
it's not, no. It's a minimal amount. So
right.
It's not worth worrying about so much, but yeah, just if you want to avoid that,
take your airlock out.
Take your airlock out, cover it with some sanitised cloth, just to prevent any bacteria or anything dropping in there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. The keg's full. Now what?
Well, once the keg's full at the required level, we can grab our lid that has some sanitizer on it from previously, and we want to give it a bit more sanitizer.
Yep.
Just around the seal and underneath. Remove our cloth, tap off. I want to remove the hose. So just watching that. Put that aside. And now we want to seal the lid off.
Nice.
Okay, So at the moment, we've got our keg full of beer. I'm just gonna get a bit of CO2 into the keg, adding in some more CO2 in the headspace.
Okay.
That's between the beer and the inside of the top of the keg.
Yeah, a room there, you want to get all the oxygen out, or as much as you can.
As much as you can. Like I said earlier, it's not really feasible to get it all out.
Yeah.
That we know of, but at least we're going to the lengths to eliminate any possible oxidisation.
Yeah, doing our best. Yeah.
Doing our best, yes. So again, we hook up the disconnect. And engage the gas. And yeah, I'm just going to release some CO2. Do that again about a half a dozen times. And obviously there's not going to be much headspace in there because it's full of beer.
Yeah.
So just letting the gas seep in till it stops, making that sound.
Yep.
Which done so now. Yeah, remove the disconnect. And that beer is ready to go in the fridge.
That's it. From here, you just carbonate it using the method of your choice, which we'll discuss in another video, perhaps.
Yeah, set it to your desired PSI on your regulator. Give it time to carbonate.
Yeah.
It's ready to serve and enjoy.
Cool. So, as Matt was just saying, the next step is to carbonate the beer. There's actually a few ways you can go about doing that, which we won't go into now because we're trying to keep these videos focused on a single topic at a time. When we do release it, the details to that video and others will be in the description below, but as always, subscribing is the best way to stay updated. For now, this video is done. Thanks again to Matt.
No problems, thank you.
Thank you, and we'll see you all in the next one.